Okay guys, so very quick intro today because when I say I'm strapped for time, I mean I'm strapped for time. I've got like half an hour to do my session, so it'll be a very quick intro. I've changed the settings again on the microphone, so hopefully they're better. There's a lot of background noise in the gym, guys, so it's really hard to cut the background noise out. So I'm trying every trick up my sleeve. I've read every article on how to change the settings for the microphone, and fingers crossed this one's good actually, because I found it on a pretty reputable website. So hopefully, I can't guarantee, but hopefully the settings are better today with audio quality. So chest and biceps today. To save myself some time, I won't be doing any calves or delts. I can just do that later on today when I do cardio, but I'll just get the main stuff out of the way today. Heck, I might even just do chest, we'll just see. Because I have to go to the gym later today, the gym that's closer to my home, to do my 25 minutes of daily cardio. So I'll probably just do my calves and my delts there, and potentially even my biceps as well, and just do chest here today at the minute. That way I'm not rushing the session, if you get what I mean. But yeah, on the way to the gym, I was actually thinking to myself, like, even though I can't train hard at the moment, I just found it funny how you're probably the same. Even if you're dealing with some sort of like a setback or an injury, or for whatever reason you can't train properly the way you normally do, you still kind of have that mentality that all, I guess, competitive people have, like that, what would you call it? Like I guess an athlete's mindset. Yeah. To elaborate more on what I mean, what I'm saying is, before all of this happened, the setback I'm dealing with, the recent setback, everything kind of mentally revolved around the gym, in the sense that when I was on my way to the gym, even the night before the gym, I was thinking about what weight I was going to do, how I was going to do the movement, how the movement was going to feel. I was thinking about all of this stuff, and I still do it. Like, you can take the bodybuilder out of bodybuilding, but you can't take the bodybuilding out of the bodybuilder, if you get what I'm saying. Man, I am thirsty today, I'll tell you that. But it makes sense because I haven't really had any fluids today yet. Normally I have a drink earlier in the day, but just due to the nature of the schedule this morning, that hasn't really been something that I did. So right now the gym's quite busy. The plan of action is to do one fly, at least one press, but preferably two presses, and then one or two curling variations. I want to do biceps here, so I want to try squeeze it in, just not delts and calves, but I want to try squeeze biceps in because they have the good preacher curl machine here, and I hate the preacher curl machine at Springfield. So that's going to be the plan of attack. Chest, smash it out, then go upstairs and do biceps, the preachers, and heck, I might just do preachers today. I'll just do like 4 to 6 sets of preachers instead of 2 bicep exercises. Oh man, I think I've got an addiction to these. They're so tasty. It's a shame they're like $5 a can. I'm not going to be able to have them forever, it's definitely going to get to a point where I'll say to myself, well, you've blown enough money on those, Nick. Time to try find them cheaper by the carton online somewhere. So this is less than ideal. You've got to improvise with a different exercise because the equipment's currently, oh actually I just freed up, saved by the bell. Okay, so just did a feeler set, 27 kilo each side, feels pretty much bang on for the working weight, so I just stopped at a few reps in, and yeah, this will be the first working set, so 27 kilo or 60 pound each side. Aiming for 8 to 12 reps, so relatively heavy and a few reps shy failure, so I'll likely get around, I want to say like 9 reps, give or take. Just had to mix up some EAAs. Getting a little bit thirsty. I only do half a scoop though, it's just for the flavour to be honest. Alright. That first set felt pretty good. 10 reps. I'd say it was probably about 4 reps shy failure. So I'll see if I can match that, and then it'll be about probably 3 reps shy failure. Just doing a little bit of a modification of the session, and what I mean by that is, instead of say potentially doing 3 exercises, 2 sets of each, I might just do 2 exercises and 3 sets of each. That way it just improves the overall flow of the session a bit. I'm not waiting for a 3rd piece of equipment then. I'm able to just basically get on 1 piece of equipment, do it for 3 sets, and then do 1 other exercise. So like 1 fly and 1 press instead of 1 fly and 2 press variations, for example. Now it's not really any less effective doing that, it's just, it's a disruption to the usual kind of flow of how I do the session, I guess, that's what I'm saying. But it's still effective. Like stimulus is stimulus and mechanical tension is mechanical tension. And you don't have to hit a muscle group from every angle in a single session. As long as over the course of a training block or a training phase, you're hitting a muscle in all of its actions, or all the actions of a muscle, for example, from varying angles, then you're sweet. But it doesn't have to be all in one session. decline press it is today. Now, whether I do 2 sets of this and like 1 set of another press, or 3 of this and that's it, yet to be decided. But I've got 10 minutes to finish this session off, so might only be doing 1 bicep exercise. Normally I find that I have to adjust the seat height after the first set, but I think I hit the nail right on the head for that first set, which is good. Going a little bit lighter I think this week, just 2 plates aside, just to get a little bit more of a stretch. Higher reps I guess I could say too, but it's feeling good, so probably keep this weight for the next set. And if I'm feeling like going a bit heavier on the 3rd set, I might bump it up to 3 plates, we'll see. A little bit wider this set with grip. Okay, so yeah, seeing that I'm strapped for time, I'm just going to do 1 bicep movement today, so 4 to 6 sets of this instead of like 2 to 3 sets of 2 different movements. Ideally I would like to do a facing weight cable curl and this, because then you can load the bicep in the stretch and the shortened position, but it's like tomatoes at the end of the day. It's not a big deal. As long as you're getting adequate stimulus and loading the target muscle, that's ultimately what matters. That's the big kind of like 90% of it, essentially. So, weight wise, I believe this one was quite heavy, so I'm going to start with 45. What I might do is 3 sets of just bilateral, and then I'll do 2 sets of single arm. That way I can kind of get a little bit of variety, but still just being efficient on the one machine instead of using 2 bits of equipment. as you can see, the reason why I really like this bicep curl machine, or this preacher curl machine, is just how the pad kind of like fully, almost like hyperextends your arm at the elbow. So you can get a decent stretch for a more shortened bicep movement. Call it there for that one, because I'm shortening the rest periods. I'm kind of fatiguing a little bit quicker, so I still want to stay away from failure, so just means the reps are going to drop off a little bit more aggressively. But we'll do single arm next. Let's go, I reckon 23 kilo each side, 23 kilo each arm should be pretty good. Same rep range, like 8 to 12, well 10 to 15, but yeah, either one of those, even just, I would just say 8 to 15 reps. So it really doesn't matter how many reps you're hitting, as long as you're, like I said before, getting close enough to failure, getting enough mechanical tension is going to be contributive to muscle growth. So yeah. So
Not sweatproof.
no, they're not. Yeah, I can see. Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah, that looks funny.
Anyway, I'm done. I'm gonna go down and wait in reception.
I'll see you down there. Yeah. So my fiance's done. Now it's just up to me, not for me, up to me, to finish my session. So. One to go. Now, even though I was only doing, 45 kilo bilaterally, and I've dropped down to what should be pretty much bang on 50% of the load I was doing both arms at the same time, it's still noticeably more challenging for my single arm curls to do 50% of the load. And I mean, that's not abnormal, so don't freak out if you're ever doing, say, a bilateral movement, say bicep curls, both arms at the same time, and you say reduce the weight by 50%, thinking, oh well, if I'm doing it one arm at a time, I can do half the load, because it'll still be more challenging. Because what people don't realize, and what I didn't realize for the first year or so of my lifting, was there's a lot of, I guess you could say, compensation and assistance from the opposing arm, or from each opposing arm, when you're doing a bilateral movement, whether it be an arm movement or a leg, lower body movement like a leg press. Like if you can do, say, 6 plates aside on leg press, single leg press, you're not going to be able to do 3 plates aside a lot of the time for the same number of reps to the same level of effort. It's going to be a lot more challenging. Same thing with this, even though I dropped it down to 50% load for that first set of single arm preachers, they're still notably more challenging than the bilateral variant that I did prior, even though I was only doing double the load with double the arm power. So yeah, what you'll find is you might have to drop it, say, an additional 10% to match the number of reps at the same level of effort that you got on the bilateral movement. So you might only be able to do, say, 40% of the original load if you're doing it single arm, as opposed to 50%, which is rationally what you would think you could do. So just keep that in mind.